Hello all. Today we will discuss astable multivibrator using operational amplifier. As we know that in astable multivibrator both the states are unstable or astable. That's why it is also called as free running oscillator. As you can see in this figure, our output voltage is switching or making transitions between the high output and the low output, or you can say it is oscillating between the high and the low output, and the time period of this oscillation is this, that is the sum of the duration for which it is on or high and the duration for which it is low or off. So to obtain such oscillations using an operational amplifier, we make use of the positive feedback. Now, this is the diagram of astable multivibrator. You can see here a part of the output is sent back to the non-inverting terminal, and that is nothing but the positive feedback. The output is here defined by the resistors R1 and R2, and you can see here that the voltage across this R2 is being applied at the non-inverting terminal, where voltage across R2 over here is defined by the voltage V1, which is nothing but, using the voltage divider rule, it is R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V out. You can also call it, in some of the books it is equal to beta times of V out, where beta is nothing but the feedback gain. Now also we have studied this kind of circuit where positive feedback is applied in the case of the schemic trigger, and there we have seen that this feedback input, or the input at the non-inverting terminal equal to V1 over here, will be determined by the output voltage V out. In the output voltage, we can say that if the gain is very high, then the output will be equal to plus V saturation and the minus V saturation. And depending upon the positive and the negative magnitude of the voltage or saturation voltages, we will get our feedback voltage V1. So similarly, if the output is plus V saturation, then we will get here R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation. If our output will be minus V saturation, then we will get the output or the feedback voltage in negative, that is minus R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation. So it means we will get these two threshold values. We will not call them here as a threshold, as we have discussed in the case of schemic trigger, but these are the two levels over here. One will be R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation, and another will be minus R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation. In addition to this circuitry, we are going to use a capacitor and a resistor. Resistor is providing a path from output and the inverting terminal, and capacitor will be connected at the inverting terminal. We can see here the voltage across this capacitor, which is nothing but the voltage at the inverting terminal. So we can see here that our voltage of capacitor is Vc and the voltage at inverting terminal is V2, then we can see, or we can say that V2 is nothing but equal to Vc. So now let's discuss this circuitry and we will try to get this waveform. So for example, let us assume that our initial output voltage is at plus V saturation. We have to assume some voltage over here, because on the basis of that we will get the value of V1, and we know that it is acting as a comparator. It will compare these two voltages V1 and V2. If V1 is greater than V2, or V1 is nothing but the non-inverting terminal, so if the voltage at the non-inverting terminal is greater than the inverting terminal, then our output will be plus V saturation, and if the other case is there, then it will be minus V saturation. So let us assume first output voltage is at plus V saturation. Due to that, our V1 will be R2 upon R1 plus R2 of plus V saturation, means we will get this level, or this is the level of the non-inverting terminal. Now, due to the output voltage over here, for example, if our starting capacitor is totally discharged, and due to this output or the positive voltage over here, this capacitor will start charging through this resistor R. Or due to the charging of this capacitor, there will be positive voltage on this plate and the negative voltage on this plate, because we have assumed here V output equal to plus V saturation. Due to the charging of this capacitor, the voltage across this capacitor will start building up, or Vc will start building up, where Vc is nothing but V2 will start building up. It will increase from 0 to a higher value, and that this, you can see here this graph is showing us the charging, and a point will come when this voltage inverting, or the V2 voltage of the capacitor voltage, will become equal to non-inverting. voltage that is equal to R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation. So this is that point. Exactly after this point, what will happen? The voltage at the inverting terminal will be greater than the non-inverting terminal, and our output must switch to minus V saturation. It means the moment this output voltage has switched to minus V saturation, the voltage V1 must also change to, it must be changed to minus R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation, or simply R2 upon R1 plus R2 of minus V saturation. It means now the voltage at this non-inverting terminal is this one. Secondly, due to the negative voltage over here, the capacitor which has earlier charged due to the positive voltage will now discharge. So the discharging of the capacitor will be there, or we can say that this voltage will start charging it in the reverse direction, or now here it will be negative and the lower plate will be start making positive. So this will be start going towards the negative side and this will be positive. Due to this, the capacitor will discharge, and you can see here the capacitor discharging will be there. It means now the voltage across this capacitor will be going towards negative side, and the moment it has gone below the value of minus R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation, that is nothing but the voltage at the non-inverting terminal, it will again switch back to the positive voltage, because at that point the voltage at non-inverting terminal, that is V1, is greater than the voltage at V2, and it will again come back to the positive V saturation. Due to the positive V saturation, it will again go back into making it charging towards the positive side, and the voltage across the capacitor will start building up in the positive direction. So you can see here the capacitor is now started building, and also at the moment it has switched to positive V saturation, the voltage at V1 will be now positive of R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation, and this process continues. Now next is the derivation of the time period. The time period over here is nothing but the duration of the high and the low states of the astable multivibrator. The values of R, C, R1 and R2 determine the value of the capital T, that is the time period. So let's first derive the time period. For the derivation, we will assume here that capacitor at this stage, and it has now just started charging towards the positive side, and using the equation of the transient of the capacitor, that is Vc of t is equal to V final plus V initial minus V final into e to the power minus t by Rc. We can see here that for the duration t1, I have divided the total time period capital T in t1 and t2. t1 is the rising time and t2 is the discharging time, or you can say t1 is the output state where it is high and t2 is the output state where it is low. So for, you can see here from this diagram that for time period t1, our initial value of the capacitor is minus R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation, that is nothing but equal to minus beta V saturation. Minus beta V saturation. Similarly, the final value of the capacitor must be equal to the charging voltage, or the charging voltage over here is plus V saturation. So the final voltage must reach to the plus V saturation. And for the value of VCT1, VCT1 means exactly after duration T1, the value of the capacitor is, you can see here the value of capacitor has just reached to the value of R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation, that is equal to beta V saturation. So you can see here it is equal to beta V saturation. So these are the three values. Now putting all these three values in this equation, we will get Vc at T1 is equal to final value is V saturation plus initial value is minus beta V saturation minus V saturation into e to the power minus T1 by Rc, where Vc at T1 is nothing but equal to beta V saturation. Putting the value of this over here, beta V saturation minus V saturation, and solving this equation, we will get e to the power minus T1 by Rc is equal to 1 minus beta upon 1 plus beta. Now to remove this exponential, we will take the natural log. So we will taking the log to the base e on both sides. So it will be now minus T1 by Rc equal to natural log of 1 minus beta upon 1 plus beta, and taking the minus Rc on the right hand side, we will get T1 equal to minus Rc natural log of 1 minus beta upon 1 plus beta. Now to adjust this minus sign, we will change this denominator and the numerator. We will get T1 equal to Rc natural log of 1 plus beta upon 1 minus beta. So this is the duration for which the output state is high. Similarly, for the output state to be low, we will take again the same equation, Vc of t equal to V final plus V initial minus V final into e to the power minus t by Rc. Here the final value will be, what will be my final value? The final value will be the maximum voltage that is applied, that is equal to minus V saturation, because now it has switched to minus V saturation, output voltage has switched to minus V saturation. Similarly, the initial value over here is, now the capacitor is discharging from this point, so the initial value is R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation, that is beta V saturation. Similarly, the Vc at T2, exactly after T2, the voltage at the capacitor is minus R2 upon R1 plus R2 of V saturation, that is minus beta V saturation. So again, putting these values over here, I can get the value T2 equal to Rc natural log of 1 plus beta upon 1 minus beta. You can see here both the values of duration T1 and T2 are same. It means we can see, or we can say that the duty cycle over here is equal to 50%. So the total time period will come out to be T1 plus T2, and it will come out to be twice of Rc of natural log of 1 plus beta upon 1 minus beta. Now, as I have discussed the working of the astable multivibrator with the help of its waveforms, and we have also derived the time period equal to 2Rc natural log of 1 plus beta upon 1 minus beta, where R is nothing but this resistor, C is this capacitor, and beta over here is equal to the R2 upon R1 plus R2. Now, using this, can we design an astable multivibrator? Yes, we can design. So let's have a numerical on the designing. So to design an astable multivibrator for a frequency of 1 kilohertz, so only frequency is given to us, and we will assume here that a capacitor must be less than 0.1 microfarad. I have taken here value equal to 0.1 microfarad, and the resistor R1 and R2 are same. Now using these equations, if my frequency is 1 kilohertz, then from there we can say the time period, which is 1 by f, equal to 1 millisecond. And R1 is equal to R2, it means now beta, which is R2 upon R1 plus R2, will be equal to 1 by 2. Now putting these values in my time period equation, t is 1 millisecond, to R, that is unknown to me, I have to find the value of R. C is 0.1 microfarad, micro means 10 to the power minus 6, natural log of 1 plus beta is 1 by 2, 1 plus 1 by 2 upon 1 minus 1 by 2, and by solving it I can get the value of 10 raised to power minus 3 divided by 2 into 10 to the minus 7 natural log of 3, and it will come out to be approximately 4.5 kilo ohm. It means using the resistor of equal to 4.5 kilo ohm, capacitor of 0.1 microfarad, and resistors of equal value, let us assume it to be 10 kilo ohm, equal to 10 kilo ohm, then I will get the astable multivibrator when I connect them in this configuration, where the total time period is equal to 1 millisecond, or the on and off or the high and the low time period will be equal to 0.5 millisecond. And simply the frequency of the oscillations, as I in the starting of the video said, it is acting as a free running oscillator, so the oscillations frequency is equal to 1 kilohertz. Thank you very much.